Thank you so much for joining us today for Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. I am music producer Achickwitbeatz, and my co-host, entrepreneur Breezy Gipson, will be joining us a little bit later. So for right now, Chick solo in the coop. But you know what? We got a great show lined up. Of course, there'll be tons of music industry news. And then we have a special guest, K.O. Brown, returning to us. And that's definitely going to be a delight. Looking forward to that. And of course, there's beats by yours truly sprinkled in all throughout. So, real quick before we kick it off, got to send a shout out to our home stations, Grander Radio out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Sparks Radio out of Atlanta, Georgia. And you know what? I'm just excited to bring it to you. So let's go ahead and do it. All right, back with music industry news. First off, Live Nation has been pretty busy these last few weeks, just in case, you didn't catch that and listen to the previous shows. But they recently acquired the Colombian concert promoter Paramo Presenta, and the deal continues Live Nation's expansion into Latin America. So they've been working on it, and yeah, just continues to grow. And so they actually brokered the deal through the Mexican concert promoter OCESA, which Live Nation had acquired a controlling interest in back in 2021. So, this new acquisition, the company was responsible for producing one of Colombia's most high profile music events, the Estéreo Picnic. And that's a 4-day music festival held in Bogota that annually draws crowds of more than 100,000 fans. So, the move definitely makes sense for Live Nation, especially since, their footprint, thumbprint, whatever you want to call it, on the industry just continues to grow. Um, Another acquisition that they just made was the Opera House in Toronto. So that was actually Live Nation Canada to be specific, but they acquired the historic Toronto concert venue that opened in 1909 originally as a movie house. But then the Opera House transformed into a concert venue back in 89 when the Alinas family took it over, and they've hosted Metallica, Michelle Ndegeocello, Radiohead, Stereo MCs, Nirvana, and more. And so the family will continue to be involved in the venue's operation. So even though it was bought out, they're still going to control it. And, hey, like I said, Live Nation has been making a lot of moves. And especially considering how, you know, Congress is now kind of looking at it like, hey, do they have too much control as far as Ticketmaster goes and all that? But hey, they're not letting the questioning slow them down just yet. So something to keep an eye on. And you know what? We'll probably have another story next week about something else that they've acquired since we spoke. All right, Snoop Dogg has joined a $20 million funding round for the music NFT platform called Sound. The platform lets artists upload, stream, and monetize their music as NFTs, and they get to keep 95% of the proceeds from their work and 10% of every resale without giving up any ownership or master or publishing rights. So the startup says that the first wave of artists on its platform earned over 5.5 million in the last year, which is equivalent to what the revenue for 1.5 billion streams on other platforms would be. So, if their claims are true, it makes sense that they're seeing that kind of growth, because at least the artists get to hold on to more money than, let's say, selling it on, some of these other platforms when they stream and earn just fractions of a penny for it. All right, YouTube has shut down another Discord music bot that's been used by over 3 million servers. Yeah. So the Vexera music bot would search YouTube, they'd find the video you're looking for and stream the audio to everyone in the channel. So it was an easy way to share music for people. But of course, artists aren't seeing any revenue from it. So it makes sense that YouTube shut it down. For the people that were using it, I could see why that'd be frustrating. But you know what? It takes money to make quality music. So artists should be compensated for that. So something to keep an eye on. And speaking of artist compensation, we keep talking about the concerns surrounding AI in the music industry. And one of the biggest beefs is that it has to take in audio in order for it to learn. And so the artists who are being used for this, the artists whose music is actually training these engines, deserve to be compensated for it as well. So that's honestly, I think, one of the biggest concerns before we even start to worry about the decline in quality is just making sure that the people who've already done the work get their fair share. All right. So OpenAI has secured a license to access training data from Shutterstock, and it includes its music library. So this is an example of that. Artists whose work is actually on the Shutterstock music libraries, now their work is going to be used to keep training it. So with this new partnership, the stock image provider and OpenAI are basically kind of working together to make sure that OpenAI has access to their work, and Shutterstock is now going to have access to OpenAI's artificial intelligence tools. So we'll see what comes from that. Probably similar to some of the other things that we've talked about, to where like with the AI app for TikTok, the one that can let users hum a tune and then the music can be playing in the background of their video. We could probably imagine something like that will come from it, but hey, we'll see as it unfolds and what that'll actually mean. And continuing on the AI conversation, Universal Music Group, which is the world's largest music holder, has asked Congress to enact laws to protect creators and rights holders against copyright infringement by AI developers and users. So, right now, this whole thing is kind of like a wild, wild west situation. It's more accessible to people. So not everybody is going to care about following the proper channels to make sure that what they're distributing is legit and legal. So, with Congress taking a look at it, hopefully there could be some more rules developed around it. And, we can worry a little bit less about having our work kind of, bitten off of, if you will. All right. On demand audio streams grew 13.5% to reach 616.5 billion in the US in the first half of the year. And so this was information from Luminate's mid-year report, which contained lots of information. I definitely recommend you check it out in detail when you get a chance to. And once again, that's from Luminate. So in the first quarter, on-demand music audio streams crossed the 1 trillion mark. And actually, let me just back up for anybody that might not be aware of what that means. So on-demand audio is when you actually select what you want to listen to yourself. So that would be your Apple Music, your Spotify, your what's the Pandora One, or Tidal, things like that. So what the difference is when you actually go say, okay, I want to listen to this new track that Achickwitbeatz put out. You type that in, you listen, hit play, and it plays for you. Those are the on-demand ones, not like when you listen to the Pandora stations or your Sirius XM, Shade 45, whatever the case may be. So that's the key difference. It's not like an algorithm's determining it for you. You're demanding what you want to hear yourself. So, all right, in the first quarter, on-demand music audio streams crossed the 1 trillion mark. It's the first time in history that that milestone was reached in only 3 months. And so this is big because that means that there's been a lot more consumption. More people are calling on the music to listen to what they want to hear when they want to hear it. There were 120,000 ISRCs, which are essentially new music audio files, that were added to music streaming services per day in the first quarter. So with that amount of music just being uploaded and just constantly being churned out, it makes sense that the consumption's increasing because there's more stuff out there to listen to. Another tidbit from that was that US vinyl sales have increased by 21.7% just in the first half of the year. So there's been a lot of growth. And as a music artist, if you're out there listening and, kind of taking notes to what's going on, that means that people are susceptible to stuff. So, if you're touring this summer or you're planning to do something this fall, you might want to consider adding vinyl to your merch that you might have at different shows, because a recent study that we shared a while back showed that 50% of vinyl buyers don't even have a record player. So they just want to have it, something that they can touch, feel, admire the artwork and things like that. So hey, it's some information in these things that you can take and apply to your own career, and just kind of watch what's been happening in the industry to let you know where to focus your efforts. All right, Amaze VR has launched a music concerts app for MetaQuest and Steam VR headsets. So the app lets fans watch a song from each participating artist for free, just to entice them to pay to watch full concerts. So the app itself is launching with Swedish artist Zara Larsson. They've done work with Megan Thee Stallion in the past. But yeah, Zara Larsson's four-set song costs $6.99 for a full year's access. And they're going to be adding on more hip hop, pop, rock, and K-pop artists. They're already lined up. We don't know who they are yet, but as they dole it out, we'll see how enticing that is. So if you're one of those people that likes to play around in virtual reality and check stuff out, definitely a heads up, something you might want to do. $6.99 for a year's access to an artist that you like. It's not bad at all. So we'll see if they maintain that pricing as it gains popularity. But, hey, just something to be aware of. All right, there's a 10% stake in Led Zeppelin's music that's for sale. And it's kind of an interesting story how it ended up on the market. The band's former manager, Peter Grant, had owned a 20% stake in Led Zeppelin's music. Then, after he died in 1995, his children, Helen and Warren Grant, each inherited 10% of that stake. So, Irving Azoff's iconic artist group had approached Helen about purchasing her stake before she actually went public with the sale. And I guess she must not have been too happy with whatever they offered, or thought she could do better. And so that's when she decided to publicly say, okay, this is up for sale. So it kind of makes you wonder, would she have been selling it if they wouldn't have approached her? And, hey, it's not always good to lowball, because a lot of times that will make people not want to deal with you. This is, again, they didn't give any specifics. I don't know what they offered, but, hey, she said maybe she could do a little bit better. So we'll see how that happens. I imagine within the next few weeks, we'll probably be telling you that the catalog sold. All right, unfortunately, All Access Radio, the music industry trade, is ceasing publication. They recently made an announcement that it's shutting down August 15th due to severe financial headwinds. And we know the climate's been really, really hard for a lot of people, a lot of different industries. But yeah, musicians are definitely being impacted by this. And so it makes sense that the publication's having a little struggle. It's not like it's got a huge number of employees. I want to say it was around 21 or something like that at the time of the announcement. But yeah, that is something that's going to be going away. But who knows? Maybe something else will kind of pop up in a similar vein. All right, Hypnosis is considering the sale of music assets in an effort to narrow their share price discount. So, according to the CEO, says that the company's current share price doesn't reflect the value and prospects that they have. So, they're considering getting rid of some of it, so that way the market will kind of make the correction and their valuation will be more accurate. Yeah, but if they do go ahead and sell some of that, they could incur a tax charge, since music catalogs are an intangible fixed asset for UK corporation purposes. So we'll kind of have to see how that plays out, what they choose to do. To me, it seems like it might be a good idea to go ahead and sell some of that, but then it's like, okay, I'm not sure how they're going to determine which catalogs that they actually part with. But once again, we'll keep you updated as we get the information. All right, English is getting a little less popular on music streaming services in the US and globally. The term that they're using for this is glocalization, not localization, but glocalization is the theory that music is more global than ever, but in many individual markets, the most popular artists are charting and becoming increasingly localized. So, an example would be that in Poland, the top 10 acts there they are Polish. The top 40 is pretty much all Polish, but they're Polish acts doing hip hop, which is an American genre. So that's an example. Hip hop is global, but their personal charts are reflecting local artists, which I mean theoretically that's kind of how things should be. We just spoke about last week how in Australia their charts don't really reflect a lot of local artists. So yeah, it might be time to rethink how we do charts and to show what's actually popular within specific regions. It'd be very valuable information if we did it that way instead of just a general popularity contest. All right. Absolute Label Services is going back to the original owners just 18 months after their business was bought out by Utopia Music. Now, we just recently shared a story about Utopia. They're buying things, but now they're beginning to give some of those things back. So, Utopia sold Roster back to its founders in February and then sold Centric to Believe in March. So, this is kind of a trend that we're seeing going on because now they've sold Absolute Label Services back to their original owners, like I said, in just 18 months after they bought it. So we'll see if they'll be offloading some more things, but that's definitely a sign of trouble, kind of like what we were just mentioning with hypnosis. So, you know, they've got all this money in the beginning and they're just buying up stuff, anything that they can. But then when they kind of step back and look at the financials, it's kind of like, ooh, maybe we shouldn't have done this. So yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye on it. So far, there haven't been a lot of positive stories about Utopia in the news coming up, but maybe this correction might change that. So once again, as we get more information, we'll definitely keep you abreast on what's going on. All right, so that wraps up this week's music industry news. We're going to take another pause for the cause, and then we'll be right back with our special guest, K.O. Brown.
Hey fam, this is Breezy Gipson from the Breeze team. How would you like to see an online platform that brings you people who've already indicated that they're interested in your particular type of business? Whether it's your music you're selling, hip-hop clothing, you got a restaurant or a cafe, or if you're an entrepreneur or agent for a business. Visit me at breeze2cheese.com. That's using the number 2, breeze2cheese.com, or click my bio link on my Instagram profile to see a live demo of how this can help you get more customers and make more money.
Hey, this is Achickwitbeatz. I am a multi-genre music producer and strategist to indie artists and labels. Visit my website, achickwitbeatz.com, for resources for artists and instrumentals available in various genres for songs, vlogs, blogs, podcasts, themes, TV, film, commercials, and more. Once again, that's achickwitbeatz.com, ACHICKWITBEATZ. Let's make something happen.
Hey, one more again. This is Breezy Gipson along with Achickwitbeatz, and we're in the house right now with a very, very dynamic young man. He's been here before. He's going to be here again because he's got a lot of stuff going on, and he is not in slow motion. He is in full motion. And so welcoming back to our show one more again, the one and only K.O. Brown. K.O., are you with us?
What's happening, man? How you doing, man? Y'all good?
Yeah.
Yes.
We good.
Glad to have you back. Yeah.
Man, I'm glad to be back for sure.
Yeah, we good. So, since you've been here before, we know who you are, but we may have some different listeners, new listeners on there right now that may not have been before. So, can you give them a little bit of a little snapshot of K.O. Brown, who you are, what you about, and what you got going on right quick.
Oh, well, like you say, man, my name K.O. I go by K.O. Brown on social media, Facebook, Instagram. You can get at me like that. I'm a artist, coming up. I've been doing it for a while, you know what I mean? I got an album dropping next month. So yeah, if y'all listening, man, y'all get ready, man, and make sure y'all get that, tune in. And I'm definitely gonna let you know the exact date in the next week or two. So yeah, man, yeah. So just be prepared, man, because I'm telling you, it's coming, and you gonna love it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You heard that, Achickwitbeatz.
Right. But I do want to say, he said, he is an up-and-coming artist. I think he's being humble. He's already arrived. He's just waiting on everybody else to catch up.
Okay. And so, Achickwitbeatz, hey, the floor is yours for the hot second.
Yeah, so, you're talking about the hot album that's coming. What did you kind of do to get in the zone to, create this work of art that you're about to release into the wild?
Well, I was just doing like little singles here and there, throwing them out there, dropping them on social media, and then I was like, man, I got all this music. I was like, man, I might as well just organize it and just throw it out there and see what it do. You know what I mean? And do it my way. You know what I'm saying? I tried it other people's ways. I was like, man, I'm just gonna do it my way and see what it do. So this way we get next month. We finna see how it roll. I'm excited. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it's going down. Time is now.
Okay,
Can't
so
wait.
Creep back a little bit. Creep back a few years to the beginning and educate, those new listeners about, what made you put your toe into the ring, into the music realm. Just did it attract you, or were you just curious, or just what happened way back then that got you in?
Well, I mean, I was a sports guy coming up, playing football and stuff. Music. I listened to so much music, you know what I mean, rolling with my older brothers, older cousins, man, and, listening to the wordplay, listening to the creativity, you know what I'm saying? After I somehow knew I wasn't going to advance to the NFL or something like that, man, I was just looking on to trying to do music and stuff. And, all the OGs of the rap, man, I stayed listening to them because that's all my brother and them played. So, So yeah, man, like listening to that creativity, man, I wanted to create my own, Like I said before, man, I listened to like UGK, and and a lot of Lil Wayne coming up, you know what I'm saying? So, and I like a lot of other artists also. I mean, I'd be here forever trying to name everybody, but man, shout out to them. But yeah, man, like I say, man, that creativity, man, and just wanting to create my own and be in my own lane, you know what I'm saying? That's what draw me to it even more. So me going to other people's studios and stuff, yeah, that was cool, you know what I'm saying? But like once you sit down and realize, man, after you save up and get your money right, man, you can buy your own equipment, man, and you can go online and you can teach yourself how to do a lot of stuff, and it'll save you a lot of money, you know what I mean, in reality. So that's what I did, and I've been doing that, saving money, getting equipment throughout the years, man, and once I got everything I needed, it was on. So that's why I just been dropping like little heat every now and then, here and there, and now we to the album point. So yeah, I'm excited about the album. After I dropped the album, I said I was gonna get into making beats. You know what I mean? Teach myself how to do that because the album be out, so I'd be able to promote and have time to do other stuff with the album. But also in my free time, I'd be teaching myself how to do make beats and stuff. But with the album, I'm trying to drop a video for each song because I want to be like how Michael Jackson came, how he had the little short films. So I want from song 1 to the end of to the last song, I want it to be a short film, and all of them gonna match each other. So that's where I'm at.
Okay, so now you made some good statements when you said you saved your money, and then so you could purchase the equipment. Now,
right.
Some of the young folks, they want to put their feet in, and they hadn't done that. They just want everything all at once. So, can you give them a word about, hey, slow down, map it out, be patient, and do it a little bit at a time until you're ready? What would you say to them?
Well, I mean, once you hear yourself on the record, man, for the first time, you gonna want to go ahead first. And every time you get a little piece of money, you gonna want to go spend it in the studio. But one thing you gotta realize, when you get to the studio, man, a lot of those guys, man, they're just there to get some money. You know what I'm saying? They just, if they charging you $60 an hour, $100 or whatever plus an hour, that's all they worry about. You know what I'm saying? They not worried about your craft or worry about, if it's sounding good, and some of them won't even mix and match that good for you. But if you don't do your research on the music, man, and understand how things supposed to sound, then you will never know about mixing and mastering. You think you getting something that's already radio ready, but it's not. And you just getting gypped. You paying all that money. And then when it come down to the come down, it's not radio ready. You know what I mean? It's just raw. And then now you looking crazy. You got a record. But you know what I'm saying? It's not gonna sound good once you put it on this platform or this social media platform, because every time you put it on something, it kind of like it's not gonna sound the same way as once you record it. Like if you put it on Facebook or you put it on YouTube, it's not gonna sound that same way, because they have their own way of what sound and how the volume and everything that they're gonna put it on. Mm-hmm. So that's why you need that right mix and that right master. So when you do put it on there, and when they do it however they gonna do it, man, it'll be right. But like I say, man, if you're young and coming up, man, do your thing. Record your music, man. But like I said, after that first song or two, you gonna be like, okay, yeah, let me chill for a minute and save up, and then you gonna take it from there.
Okay,
unless you be balling like that.
Achickwitbeatz, what do you think about that statement? Those gold nuggets he just gave.
Yeah, very wise words. And I hope any artist, that needs to hear it takes it to heart for sure.
Okay, so now on the grind, you mentioned equipment and so on and so forth. So you do your research and so on and so forth. So now, so after you got that, a little bit of that under your feet, and were able to reflect back and take a listen, take a look, that probably made you feel kind of good then, that at least that you're in the business of music.
Oh yeah, it make you know you on your way every step of the way, man. Every time you get a new piece of equipment, then you got to learn how to use it. You know what I'm saying? And that could be frustrating because you still not gonna have that professional sound. You know what I'm saying? But you almost there. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta keep grinding. And you gotta keep spending a little money, man. If that's what you want to do, you know what I mean. If you want your own, you know what I mean, then you do that. You go that route and get your own stuff. You know what I'm saying? But if you ain't got time for that, and you want to say, well, I'm just an artist only. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's gonna come with spending a lot of money right up front, just like that. Every time you get ready to go to the studio, because it costs. Because you got to pay those producers. You got to pay those guys that have studio time. You know what I mean? But like I say, everybody that has a studio, man, they don't really care about it. They just waiting on that hour to go by. You go over that hour, that's another $60, another $100. You know what I'm saying? You want to take that, or you got to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Well, you know what? It's like, those are some words of wisdom. You're the first person to ever come along to advise that those folks that are recording you in the studio, they don't really, some of them really don't care about you. All they want is the money, huh?
Yeah, it's always all about the money, man. Cause and like I said, man, those guys got that equipment for a reason. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I realized. Like, okay, why did they get all this equipment? They don't even rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, but then I thought about it, it's all a money grab. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said, well, I'm gonna invest in myself. You know what I'm saying? I like to do music. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go get this equipment, and once I get it all, I'm gonna record myself. And anybody that I know that wanna come to the studio, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, I'm gonna charge them. Now, family, friends, somebody close, you know what I'm saying, they get that deal. But if not, then you know what I'm saying, I charge them how I want to charge them. Plus, at the same time, I care. So if they ask me something, man, well, how this sound? You know what I'm saying? What you think I should do right here? I'm gonna give my input. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna stop the time. I ain't gonna do them like that. So, but that's just how I roll. You know what I mean? Because you never know, man. What can happen with that situation.
Well, speaking of you never know, well, we have different advisors, that come and advise us about, our program, our show, this, that, the other, and so, we're fortunate right now. One of our advisors has stopped by, and he's joined on in, and maybe we'll get him to give a few words of wisdom about what you're saying. And so let's go ahead on and well, see, they're UKO, but there's another one that's a KOB. So let's bring KOB on in the line. And KOB, you there? What do you think?
Hey, good morning. How everybody doing?
Good.
I'm just saying, first of all, I just want to give God, praise and honor for y'all taking out time to interview my son one more time and everything. But I'm sitting here just listening to him and everything, and so it's all about what he's doing and about what he's trying to do with his life and everything. And I want to be a part of it.
Oh man,
beautiful.
That's royal right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I wanted to surprise him and everything, because he doing his thing, and I want to see him get out there. And even sometimes when our children, our sons, our daughters, when they doing things, and sometimes it seems like, he hold a microphone just like I hold a microphone, and I just be trying to push him and let him know that, hey, what's in his heart, what's in his mind, and what God have given him, I just want him to run with it. And don't worry about what it sounds like, and don't worry about, how it's going to sound to me. Even to me, I just want to know that, you're my son, and I love you. And that's what it's all about right there.
Whoa, man. Yeah, a chick with beats that right there, man. I mean,
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
well, I mean, seriously, hey, what you're saying, that is a beautiful thing. That is a beautiful thing. And that's you know, that's some strong support right there. Real strong support. And so I mean,
surprise.
okay, so KO, give our listeners, about 60 seconds on what you think about that surprise like that coming out of the blue.
Man, it's crazy because I just seen him, you know what I mean, about a week ago, Pop.
Right.
He pull up down here on me down here in Florida, man. I was surprised about that, man. I enjoyed it. I ain't seen him in a couple years. So yeah, man. Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad I got him in my corner, know what I'm saying? So he got a mic, I got a mic, and his grandson got a mic. So yeah,
wow.
So he up and coming on. So yeah, that's what's going on.
That is what's up.
Yeah, that's what's up. Achickwitbeatz out. Hey, you got it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, so a lot of people who struggle like within the music industry is because they don't really have the support behind them. So, behind them. So it's good that you've got your dad in your corner, and, it's excellent that you're training your son up to do the same thing. And yeah, I just think it's a really beautiful thing. And so for anybody out there that's listening, what advice do you have to give them, if maybe they haven't really found their support just yet?
I mean, they just got to do what they got to do, man. A lot of people not going to support you at first. A lot of people, man, they just going to jump on the bandwagon, man, after you make it. You either going to make it or you either going to fail. But you know what I'm saying? You can fail year after year. You know what I'm saying? But if you know in your heart, this what your calling, this what you like to do. You know what I'm saying? You just got to keep pushing because you ain't going to do nothing but get better. You know what I'm saying? And once you get better, and, once it hit the fan, man, it's up. And when people see it's up, they jumping on the bandwagon. And when they come, you know what I'm saying? You gotta go ahead and let them come on. Cause I heard on a movie, I know it probably was real, but I think they say all publicity is good publicity. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So hey, let me get all that.
Okay. Because what's the saying? Like most overnight successes, took a long time. So it looks like it was overnight to the people who, might be coming on the bandwagon. But yeah, it's a lot of sweat and work that goes behind the scenes to make it work out.
And money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And like I was saying earlier, you're the first person that we've had that just came out and said that some of those folks in the recording studio, they don't care what you sound like. They just want you to pay the money so they can come in and turn the equipment on. That's heavy right there.
Oh yeah. Well, you call them and say, hey.
Well, let's go ahead and the clock is starting to look at us a little bit. Why don't you share with our listeners about a little bit more about this up and coming music that you got coming out in about a month or so that you tapped on a little bit?
Oh, well, the name of it is called Problem, Struggle, and Motivation. And like I say, man, it's just, from top to bottom, man, from one to, I think it's going to be like 23 songs on there, 22 or 23. Whoa. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's going down. So, yeah. And that's going to be like part one. I'm definitely going to drop something 6 months or so after the fact, man. I just wanted to go on and get this one out there. Going to get this one out there. And like I say, man, it's going to be the middle of August, man. Once it drop, you guys going to see these interviews that I've been doing with you guys. You will be like, okay, it was worth it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And yeah. Yeah, and a big shout out to y'all, man, and for putting me on y'all platform. But yeah, you won't regret that. I'm gonna shout y'all out on the album. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's going down, man. I'm just excited, but you'll see in due time.
Wow. Yeah, wow. Okay, so now where can people follow you on the internet? So they can number one, buy your merchandise, and number two, keep up with you. Different things that you're doing.
You can get at me on Instagram, K Brown, and then on Facebook you can get at me on Kenneth Brown. So yeah, so you just come on that page and then I'll definitely have all the information on there. And when you go to those pages, you could go to a lot of snippets too, and hear a lot of snippets that I put on before the album finna drop. And nothing you gonna hear on those snippets is gonna be on the album. Everything new. You know what I mean? Everything coming.
Okay.
You know, so as they say, I'm on their neck.
Whoa, okay. Like those WWE people, you're on their neck, huh?
Yeah, it's going down.
Well, look, before we cut on out, like I say, the clock is looking at us a little bit. Let's turn back over to the KOB, our advisor, and for a few parting words before we go ahead and close out. KOB?
Yeah, I'm right here. I'm really just enjoying the interview because I want it to be all about my son, but he always know that I always give him a little slogan and everything to think about, you know, let it marinate with him for a while and everything. But I just share this with all three of you. You know, we and when we have a craft, when God give us something, we have to realize that we don't study that craft to get better, but we study that craft to live. So when we think we are studying, when we are practicing, like my son is getting ready to drop his album and everything, and even though he's making sure he got his words where he want them and everything to be able to put the songs together, but even when he's studying, we don't want to look at the fact, even with the radio show, you don't want to study to improve on the radio show, to drop an album or even to preach, but you want to study to live.
Mm.
Okay. That's woo, strong words of wisdom right there. That way, if you're studying to live, you can apply that in a whole lot of different directions instead of just one.
You can apply it to every space of life because you got to live no matter what you do, whether it's rapping, whether it's, you know, hosting radio shows, whether it's, you know, pastoring churches, whether it's a professional athlete, whatever it is, it's all aspects of life that you don't study to get forward in that craft, but you study to live.
Okay. That's a meat that I can chew on right there.
Yeah.
Okay. And so look, we're gonna wind down, and now any final statements that you want to make, KO, to partners down there in Florida or other people or your father, or, you know, just, hey, you know, take a couple of seconds and go what you know on that.
Yeah, man. Shout out my pops, man, for that surprise coming on here, and I appreciate you again for coming down here checking on me. You know what I mean? But you know, we'll talk personal. You know what I'm saying? Well, you had to do that to me. But I appreciate it though. But just like everybody that's listening, man, you know, one shout here, man, to all my people down here, man. You know what I mean? Just keep y'all head up, man, and whatever y'all doing, man, y'all just gotta go for it. Don't worry about nobody got to say whether they down or you or not, man. Just do whatever it is you want to do, just do it. You know what I'm saying? But that album, make sure y'all go to my page, Kenneth Brown, on Facebook or Instagram, K.O. Brown, and so you can get the official date when the album dropping. And yeah, you won't regret it.
Okay.
It's up.
Okay. Now, KO, between me and you, man, a whole lot of work had to go behind the scenes to get the KOB on here with the KO. Okay. Don't tell too many people now. Don't tell me.
I got you.
All right. Well,
I should have known it was something when I seen y'all was on the phone. He gave you the phone that day. I knew she was fixing something, but
that particular day right there, now he was just trying to make sure he got in contact with you. Then he was just trying to make sure he got in contact with you for the interview. But after the fact, we did work some stuff out, you know.
Yeah, but that was good. I like it, man. Appreciate it.
Okay. Well, look, you know, ladies and gentlemen, listeners from all over the world, globe, and sea to shining sea, you've been listening to the voices of KO was known as K.O. Brown, and then the K.O.B., that is Dr. Kenneth O. Brown, one of our advisors. And Achickwitbeatz is doing her thing. She's right in the mix and so on and so forth. So I guess, we're going to go ahead and close on out because the clock is staring us in the face. The clock on the wall is staring us in the face. You get it right. And so joy to all of you all, wherever you are, and be looking forward to coming back again with KO down the road, because he's got, this is the first, he's got more to come. So, hey, let's do it.
All right, and that's a wrap for this week's edition of Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. Once again, we thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you telling people about us, and we also appreciate our home stations, Grander Radio out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Sparks Radio out of Atlanta, Georgia. Already looking forward to next time, and can't wait to do it again. So till then, you know where to find us. Tune in, tell a friend. We'll see you then. Peace.